What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and today we are going to go over Tony Kitowski's match with
Bozhidar Simeonov.
I can't say that shit, so I let him do it.
Yeah. So this was just at the last East versus West competition that just happened on Saturday, and we wanted to talk about what Tony could have done to maybe have a better outcome in that match with Bozhidar.
Yeah, we think there's kind of a really clear technical sort of adjustment that he could have made that might have made a big difference.
We talked about this a little bit before about counters, what moves work well against other moves.
Yeah.
And we think he chose a move that just does not work well against what Bozhidar is doing.
Yeah, or I mean, Bozhidar looked like he's going to do that move kind of regardless, right?
Yeah.
So
and he's ridiculously strong at that move in that lane.
Yeah, exactly. So here's what we think might have worked a little bit better for Tony and why.
Yeah.
So first thing is the setup, right? How they're setting up. So I'm going to be Tony.
Okay, you be Tony. Yeah. So Tony is setting up super high for a posting top roll. Bozhidar setting up super high as well, but I'm not top rolling. I'm gonna chop and supinate hard down and get him outside of his shoulder and secure my cup and just hold his back pressure down. And that's clear. That's exactly what happened in the first round. Tony tried to post out. His back pressure just got completely nullified.
Yeah.
And now Bozhidar's sitting pretty in this hook.
And at that point, you could see even Tony trying to like roll and drag or do something to try to get out of his hand, but still with a lot of strength, able to hold him there. Even in the later rounds, there was a time where Bozhidar was really trying to pin him, and he was holding him right at the pin line. So obviously, Tony's bicep and his strength in the hook is not bad, considering what a shitty hook position he's actually in.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's happening here, and we discussed this in the other video, we'll throw a card up in the window right now. But one of the things is, because what Tony wants to do is he wants to post through this knuckle. He wants to come through hard like this and then bring him to the pad that way. And whether Bozhidar knows that or whether it's just his move and that the styles match up that way, because he's chopping down on Tony's thumb and into his wrist, it's not allowing Tony to get to his rising pressure before his hand gets turned over and he's kind of stuck down here like this.
Everything about Bozhidar's move is to try and take Tony's pronation away. If you take your opponent's pronation away, if they're trying to top roll, you take away their back pressure, and if they're hitting that way, they're probably going to get stuck in a really shitty hook, like we saw in that match.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we talked about this in the video that we mentioned earlier, and this is if Tony had taken a low hand top roll approach, he might have had more success. Maybe not in pinning Bozhidar or anything like that, but probably forcing a slip and at least compromising Bozhidar's wrist or fingers a little bit.
Yeah, so the main difference between a low hand top roll and posting top roll is the back pressure is different. In low hand top roll, you're focusing more on drag, and posting top roll, you're more on posting, rising pressure. Yeah. And then the rotation is different. Instead of rotating through the thumb and through the hand, you're rotating through the wrist.
Yeah.
And that would have been really good against Bozhidar because he's trying to attack your wrist and slip down your hand with his chop.
And really what ends up happening in a low hand top roll is I kind of give up my riser. And as we talked about earlier, because this is what Tony wants to fight with originally, and Bozhidar is going past that and sort of mitigating this threat completely, well, then what the right thing for Tony to do is not give that threat anymore, because there's nothing, he's running into air. There's nothing for him to fight there. So if Tony sets up with a lower hand, with his knuckle a little bit dumped, his riser a little bit dumped, and his thumb deeper into Bozhidar's hand.
Shallower into his...
Yeah, sorry, shallower, right. So I'm getting shallower into his hand.
He's moving this ridge into my fingers more, so I have less connection to my cup.
Yeah, as opposed to high posting where I might be more up like this, trying to get up on his thumb, right? Yeah. So riser's dumped and thumb is a little bit closer to me or shallow in his hand. And then when Bozhidar dives in, because I drag back, he ends up with his fingers now in my wrist, right? And I end up having a higher hand position, and now I'm in a good position to pull through.
Exactly. And he probably would have slipped there and then would have gone to the strap, and who knows what that would have changed. But
if Tony had made that same adjustment in the strap, it would work the same way.
Yeah.
And in the strap, the low hand is so effective because your drag is so good.
Yeah.
Right, when you're attached to your opponent.
Way more access to drag, so it could have flipped the entire match, because it was clear they were very close in strength. It was just decisions that were made on the table that affected the outcome of the match.
And this is why styles make matches so much, because some guys are they're so strong at one move that the other moves become kind of useless. So they silver bullet that one move, they get so good at it, and when they go against somebody where their move is the right move for the other guy's silver bullet, it just looks like that the whole day, where, you know, it's one guy just seems completely dominant when really if the other guy made a small adjustment, he might be able to put up more of a fight. And because the top roll, high posting or low hand, because they're both top rolls, a lot of the general strength is the same. So I believe that's an adjustment Tony could have made.
I believe so.
If he had of.
He's a very experienced puller. I'm sure he's a low hand top roll once in his life, or more than that. So I'm sure he could have made that adjustment. Maybe he just got caught up in the day of the event.
It kind of seemed like that for all our guys. Like we talked about Todd in our table talks yesterday. He definitely should have made some adjustments. We're going to do a video later this week talking about slipping. So maybe it had some. Herman Stevens, same. Maybe he could have made some adjustments, or he thought it was more the ref. Maybe he could have fought more. I don't know.
Yep.
But the point is that maybe there was something with the travel. Maybe there's something with being there that put guys out of the game. But you can't stop fighting. And it doesn't matter where you are competing. You got to look for those adjustments to be made, because same thing, only harder. As fun as that is, it really isn't the most effective strategy most of the time.
Yeah, if it doesn't work round 1 and it doesn't work round 2, well, fuck, don't do it again round 3.
Yeah, make an adjustment. Make an adjustment. And this is just one example of how techniques and matches make styles, and this is the technical adjustment that we think Tony could have made to maybe have had a more successful day.
Yeah, so let us know what you think about that in the comments. Do you think we're right here, or should Tony have done something completely different?
Was he just completely outmatched?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Give us some feedback. Like, share, subscribe.
And monkeys out.
Peace.